preparing to live stream. There we go. Okay, so good morning. Today is Tuesday, October 25th. My name is Christina Dillabo. I'm the Director of Communications for the Desert Southwest Conference. And this is Tuesday Talks, a weekly gathering with church communicators about what's coming down the pike, sometimes offering some awesome tips on communication resources and tools that are used at the local church. Sometimes it's just a consensus of, well, most of us use this resource, and it ends up being a great help for new church communicators or the communication liaison, communication volunteers, the pastor, whoever. There's often some great little nuggets shared. So I highly encourage you to tune in every week on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. Arizona time. And I shouldn't say every week. Today, we're going to talk about a slight change in the Tuesday Talk schedule just for the holidays. And I'm open to feedback. So if you're watching this recording and you want to share what it's like in the holidays at your local church, please email me. The easiest way is to email communications@dscumc.org. Otherwise, it's cdillabo@dscumc.org. And most people misspell Dillabo, including myself once in a while. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started. The first item that I wanted to cover are if there's any questions about Mission Together Ukraine, about the bishop's retirement. I have received some questions about what's going on with the newsletters, that the calendar events are all mixed up. And then I'm adding a new one if there's any questions about this weekend's Affordable Housing Symposium. It's on Saturday at 1 p.m. via Zoom. And I know I have received some questions about that one. So I'll start out with that one. Anyone that's joining me have any questions about the Affordable Housing Symposium? Yeah, go ahead.
Excuse me. There we go. Just a question, was that Mountain Standard Time, or was that, I didn't mark that down on my calendar?
I think right now Arizona is Mountain Standard Time, so that's what it would be. 1 p.m. Arizona time. Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so I did get some requests via email from people asking, I didn't register. Can we still join for free? I'm at this church, or, whatever. And turns out, yes, if you're a member of a Desert Southwest Conference church, or maybe the staff that's trying to coordinate it for your church, and you didn't get registered in time, it's not too late. You can still register. But you won't be able to do that using the registration link. Instead, email me and I'll share whoever it is that wants to register, I'll share it with the administrators, the host, I guess, from FACE, and someone from her team will contact whoever it is that's trying to get registered and get you the link to join for free. There was a little bit of a hiccup with exactly what time is it. David Toppings just posted something about that in chat. I don't remember. Did they have it listed as Pacific time? That's
not only Pacific time, but they claimed it was in Pacific Standard Time, which is not a thing right now. And so, see, people get a little confused by all those little S's and D's and stuff.
It always makes me nervous, because then I do feel like, I don't always think to double check with them. Are you sure that's what you mean? But this is not a brand new thing for us in Arizona to try to join someone else's event that's at some other time zone, and they provide the wrong code for us. So then we publish something that's wrong. So just in case, I'm going to double check to make sure. Since they had to correct theirs, I want to make sure that we are on the right time, that it is supposed to be 1 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. And I will include that confirmation in my follow-up notes from Tuesday Talks. All right, any other questions about that or comments?
And Christina, the link to that, will that be emailed out as well?
Yes, for those that have registered, you will get an email from Zoom on behalf of FACE, and I forgot what the acronym stands for. So that's not something that's coming through me, but if you don't get it, if you registered and you don't get that link to join, you're welcome to email me so that I can follow up with the FACE people. But also, now that I think about it, here's who I'm going to be following up with. Let me, not Zoom, this one. Her contact information is right here with hyphen. So you could also email her directly, and this email address is available on our calendar on the dscumc.org website. I'll just go ahead and include this in the follow-up notes as well, so you don't have to go searching for it, but it is helpful in case you still wanted to invite somebody else or whatever. Check out the calendar for October 29th, and you'll find information there. All right, the next item was about the Mission Together Ukraine. So I'm going to go to the homepage, and the two of the other items that I was mentioning, if you have questions about it, the articles that have the details, in this case, November 6th, Day of Prayer, Mission Together Ukraine, that's linked on the homepage. You can click on that to find a full article. Way at the bottom, you'll see all the links of resources that are available for your church to use for social media, for during worship, for your newsletter, whatever. And same thing with the bishop's retirement. Towards the bottom, you'll see information about if you want to donate towards his legacy, the Leadership Innovation Center for Leadership and Innovation. You'll be able to give there. There is no online giving yet. The delay there is just because the California Pacific Foundation is setting up an online giving link. And so they want it to go directly to the foundation because they're the main funders of this new resource that's going to be available. So you can donate to their foundation for the leadership innovation, but they had to set up a specific donation link for that fund. So it was supposed to be ready by now. I haven't heard anything, so there's no update there. But at the bottom of this article, you'll see that there's also a PDF that you can download. So that might be easier for you to share in your church communications. So do you have questions about either one of these? Okay, I will share also, there's an article that's going to be published soon. It may already be published actually, about Ukraine and ways to give. That's it for the North District newsletter. A local team has set up kind of like cards that you can purchase and make a donation. The article is going to tell you all about it, but so that's a little bit different than this one, but they're both in support of ministry in Ukraine to help the clergy and all that's happening to reach out and help the community there. Okay, let me see, what else did I have? So Bishop's retirement. Oh, so the newsletter calendar events mix up. All right, so I'm going to open up this page about MailChimp as I talk about it a little bit. Well, I guess I don't need to, I can stop sharing. So for a good while there, I thought that the issue that was happening with our newsletters at the bottom, if you hadn't noticed, the calendar events, the upcoming events that were listed, number one, in case you didn't know, our newsletters are, for the most part, automatically generated depending on whatever we post on our website. If we add a little category or like a tag, then MailChimp sees it and it knows, oh, okay, you want a newsletter to be published on this day at this time with that content that has that tag. So it's an RSS feed. And so MailChimp picks up that information, puts it in our newsletter template to look the way we set it to look. And then at the bottom, there's a different RSS feed for our calendar. And MailChimp looks for that and plugs in the calendar events that have the tag that it needs to identify it as something that's meant for the newsletter. Well, the way websites work, it's not just one company and every functionality for your website is that one company. You don't have to, but in our case, we use different plugins to be able to do different things. And one of the plugins, or another company that sells this little trick or resource or functionality, is Events Calendar. And so we use Events Calendar for the conference's calendar display. So that's the plugin that we purchased and used for that. About, I don't know, it could have been about 7 months ago that they switched ownership. And so what we felt was a very stable, very functional, very useful tool started to kind of decay a little bit because there were necessary updates that they didn't run, they didn't create, whatever. So we've actually been having little problems that have been getting worse and worse with the calendar feed for months, but they're just super noticeable now because it'll publish in all crazy order and even stuff that already happened. The problem is I didn't know that that was a plugin issue. I kept researching MailChimp, who picks up our RSS feed, and I thought that it was something in MailChimp, and we were trying different things, and it just wasn't working out. And sometimes I thought, okay, we fixed it this time for sure. Didn't fix it. Finally, this week, or maybe it was last week, I connected with the right person from MailChimp that was able to really investigate the issue. So if your church is having the same issue, it's probably not, but work with somebody from MailChimp to investigate it. In our case, the issue was our website plugin. It hadn't been updated, and luckily right at that time, there was an update that was pushed through, and so we'll see this time it's supposed to work. Why am I sharing all of this with you? Partly so that if you're experiencing the same issue, you think about different ways to troubleshoot the issue. And yay, Chris is texting, adding into the chat that their church had the same problem. And yes, that is the problem. Was it the calendar?
Yeah, sorry. It was the calendar, and finding a good calendar plugin is absolutely a challenge.
Yeah, and what works today might not be so great tomorrow. So there was that, but then there's also for churches that maybe you're short-staffed, or you're noticing it takes a lot of effort, a lot of time to create your newsletter, to go out to your subscribers. Doing this RSS feed, yes, sometimes there's issues. You just got to be watching for it. Had I noticed it and figured out right away, well, let's try this other way. Maybe it's not just MailChimp. We would have resolved it much sooner. If nothing else, at least temporarily changing the calendar RSS to manually entering those while we wait for an update. We could have done that. But anyway, so if your church isn't doing something like this and somebody's creating the newsletters for you, I'm happy to help your church to show you how to use templates to create that RSS feed. Just know that it is a paid function. You can use MailChimp for free, but if you want to use the RSS feed, you do have to actually pay for MailChimp to be able to use that RSS functionality. Okay, questions about that? Right. So we'll see. Maybe this week's newsletter, which I'm moving it to Wednesdays. It was a conversation that we had with the Commission on Communication to try a weekly digest to publish on Wednesdays instead of Fridays, to give people a little bit more time in case there's a last minute whatever. The communicator at your church can still put something in the bulletin, or whatever the case may be. All right, so the next item I'm going to share about is United Methodist Student Day is on November 27th this year. And actually, I'm going to play a video. Hopefully my audio works now. Let me know if you don't hear it, please, like wave or something so I can see. Thanks.
Did you know when you donate to the United Methodist Student Day offering, you support over 70 scholarships for United Methodist students? United Methodist Schools and Grants. Financial freedom to alleviate future debt. United Methodist Student Day calls the church to support students as they prepare for life in uniting faith with knowledge. It was the original special Sunday created by our Sunday schools to help advance education for their children. 100% of every dollar received goes into the United Methodist Student Loan Fund to underwrite scholarships. Over 70 scholarships are available for undergraduate, graduate, or doctoral United Methodist students to further their education. Many of these young people will return to their churches after graduation to share their gifts. Right now, there are United Methodist students who might not have had the resources to attend a school of their choice, or for some, any school at all, who've graduated because of your giving on this special Sunday. Together, we support their efforts to become Christian leaders of tomorrow. All gifts make an impact, and there is always a need. Your donation invests in our future. Give through your local church, by mail, or online at umc.org/ssgive.
I was sharing that video with you all just to give you an example of the resources that are available in the UMC Student Day Pastor Leader Kit that is available. Let's share my screen again, Google Chrome. All right, got to move this menu. There we go. It's available here on this Resource UMC page that I'm going to send you the link to. That video is way at the bottom here. And you can see if we took the time, there it is. I think it was this one, the Did You Know? So they're all available. And they're actually, if you go to one on YouTube, you'll see others for other special Sundays as well. But if you haven't already subscribed to UMC Giving, that's how I get the heads up that this resource is available, the special Sundays coming up and all that. Be sure to subscribe, but I will be sharing this stuff with you. Not only did I want to demo some of the good quality resources that are available to support this special Sunday, I also wanted to talk about how you can use, this isn't just for worship. You can use this stuff on social media. You can use it on your church newsletters. You can put it on your a special page on your website. Have you thought about if you have like here they have a donate link, for example. Let's see what that goes to. This one goes to, perfect. Have you thought about, you may have a donate button on your website. Consider what would it look like for your church if instead of just a simple donate, you had a button that took you to a page like this where it's for specific giving purposes. I know some churches are already doing this, but that's something that we weren't doing at the Desert Southwest Conference. And in our new website design, we are going to do it. And I'll be updating it with special Sunday stuff, with things about annual conference mission giving. The Ukraine one, for example, I'll have it linked right to the advance number. So think about doing that. It might be a way to not only encourage people to give, but also to demonstrate this is who we are. This is what we're all about. This is, what we value. So I think it helps tell your church's story a little bit more. So that's what I wanted to share about this Student Day. Any questions or comments about that? Okay, then the next one is the November Mission Moments. Same type of thing, although you can use these in maybe in the bulletin. You could use it as a social media post, and they offer you one every week for the month. So, for those churches that are looking for content, here's some great starters. Once a week, put out one of these mission moments, especially leading into that Student Day. Like if you just follow their schedule, It's an easy peasy one. Okay, questions about that? All right, let me see, what else do I have cover? Oh yes, the revised common lectionary Sundays and special days calendar. I was surprised. I thought that this one was a, normally I want to say I've had to buy it before. So I'm sharing it because I was going to buy it and discovered that it's actually free. You can download that one. You can also get the calendar. You can get a combo of the two, all of it free. So I'll send you guys a link to any of these pages. I just clicked on this one and it brings me to the first one. And then depending on what I wanted to add, if I wanted to download both calendars, it opens up that new page. I did set up the automatic updates, so I'm just going to start getting them every year. So you don't have to keep remembering or finding out when it's going to be available. I'm guessing the automatic updates, it's probably going to be like an email reminder. I don't know yet, but anyway, questions about that? Okay. Then let me check my notes. All right, so the Tuesday talk schedule. So next week is the Western Jurisdiction Conference. That is November 2 through 5, November 2nd through the 5th. I know I wasn't saying that right. And if your church, if you want to know, how can I watch the live stream? This one's a big deal because it's when we're going, not me personally, but our delegates are going to be selecting new bishops. So there's going to be I'm certain it's going to be a beautiful consecration worship service. So you can go to Western Jurisdiction umc.org/conference to get right to the landing page for the Western Jurisdiction Conference. Let me find that one. There we go. Share my screen. There we go. So this is the landing page for the Western Jurisdiction Conference, and you can find out all sorts of information. This page is going to have the live stream right here. The agenda page is going to have the live stream right here. Even the homepage of the website is going to have the live stream right here in this space. So hopefully, if you go to the Western Jurisdiction umc.org website, you'll be able to access the live stream. But if you're wanting to know specific, if you're looking for something specific, you can find the agenda right now on the agenda page, but it doesn't have a lot of details at this time. It just says plenary, but it doesn't say what's going to happen in that plenary session. So, I mean, hopefully we'll get more information on there soon, but that's what's available at this moment in time. So next week, no Tuesday talks. But then we'll go right back on to regular schedule. Then November 22nd, that's Thanksgiving week. I won't be doing a Tuesday talks then either. And now this last one's just an idea. I'd love to hear some feedback from you all. I was thinking that maybe in December, I shouldn't do Tuesday talks at all. Thinking back to when I worked at the local church, I know as the holidays approach, it gets busier and busier and busier. At the conference, it's not normally quite like that because you all are so busy, you don't really need us very much. So it gets a little quieter and we can catch up on some other projects and prep things for like annual conference or other things that we're going to try to get ready for the spring. So I'm fine with doing Tuesday talks in December, but I was thinking it might be better if I don't and just let you focus on your stuff. I will still be publishing, as if anything comes up, I'll publish a communications newsletter. So I did want to go ahead and remind you to subscribe to the communications newsletter if you are not already subscribed. Eventually, what I'd like to do is wean off of sending you the Tuesday talks invitation and information through our database and instead just using our MailChimp to send it to you, it just seems like once in a while we get downtime on our database and I'm not able to send the newsletters on time or the invitations and the notes on time or on the day of. And I haven't really experienced that issue with MailChimp. Things might look a little funky sometimes, but it does publish on time. So I want to try to move this over to using the MailChimp newsletter. So this is dscumc.org/subscribe. Click on communications. And then you go way down here, click on the email. I wish this was more obvious. There's nothing I can do about that one. And then you click subscribe. So this communication one, I'm already sending the Tuesday Talks follow-up notes through it. I'm not sending the invitation yet, but I'll probably just start doing that. I don't know. I don't even know if that's a helpful thing to get the email invitation. I mean, it's the same link. As long as you're still available. Oh, yes. And I will be available. So if something comes up at the local church, you know, you don't know where something is, you have questions about something that's coming up, you have something amazing to share, you can still contact me. The easiest way is communications@dscumc.org or my personal email address, cdillabo@dscumc.org. Either one comes to me. So yeah, I'll still be available. And if I get questions from churches, I'll put that in my weekly email to y'all. And that's all I have. So I'm thinking no Tuesday Talks in December. I will confirm that as we approach. I guess my dog said it's time to be done. So thank you all.